Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for coming. I'm Steve Taylor. I'm the product manager for the Unity Distribution Portal. The topic of today's talk is how to take your game to new markets using UDP. So the question I always ask developers like you is, why isn't your game on every app store in the world? And the answer I always get is, well, I would love to do that. I just don't have the time. I don't have the resources. I actually don't know all of these stores, but sure, I would love the extra money. And truly enough, the revenue from gaming is increasingly globally distributed. More than 50% of the revenue comes for Asia, for instance. And there are a number of territories that you probably don't tap into if you submit to your usual stores. That being said, what we've heard from many of you is, well, addressing all these stores, yeah, well, that's the issue. There's all these SDKs to integrate. Each store has different regulations, has different governance, and we do it for a first version, and then we need to do it for all the updates that follow. So the revenue, or the return on investment of those initiatives is very quickly questioned. And, to put it very simply, if you look at this picture here, think about it. 8 stores means that first off, you have to know which 8 stores we're talking about. 8 SDKs, 8 builds to create, 8 submissions through 8 different developer consoles so that you can get your games to those stores. And for every update, rinse and repeat. And then the data that you get from all those stores, you have also to collect from 8 different sources, consolidate, etc. So that is tremendously tedious, and that is a problem that we want to address with Unity Distribution Portal. So UDP, Unity Distribution Portal, what it aims to do is to help you distribute your game to multiple stores in new markets through a single hub. So think about the earlier example of 8 stores, 8 SDKs, 8 builds, 8 dev consoles, etc. The way we envision it is that there should be a single SDK that you integrate, that you only need to upload it and manage your submission through a single console, yet giving you access to those 8 stores, to stick to that example, and being able to consolidate all of that data coming from those stores in a single place. So that is the core of UDP. I'm going to show you very quickly how it works from your perspective, from a developer perspective, implementing UDP and then deploying a game to the stores. So this video I'm going to show you just for the sake of time, just so that I don't have to click and talk at the same time. I'm very bad at doing that. This is a game that one of our partners is building. It's from Playcot. The game is called Age of Magic. And this, typically here, you would do that implementation at the end of your dev cycle. Your game's almost ready. You've implemented UDP, and that means this is a very in-app purchase-centric implementation. So you query the inventory, the consume, the purchase, the consume, etc. All of that is done. Now what I'm going to show you is how we polish that implementation and then how we push the game to the stores. Here. First off, actually, I'm going to show you where you can get UDP from. You can get it from the package manager. It's in version 1.1.3 preview. The same package is also available from the asset store. There is also an implementation that's possible for Unity IAP. All right. Sorry about that. So this is where you get the UDP package from Pacman. I explained earlier as well, you can get it from the asset store, and there's a Unity IAP implementation. But let me just dive into the thick of it. Once you have installed UDP, you would go into the inspector window to open the UDP settings. And this is where you have all the information that is synced with the console. And typically what you would do here is create your catalog of IP products. So in that example, I had already a catalog of 3 items, and I'm adding this latest 4th item, the sack of gold, the one that you can see highlighted in green in the editor window. So I enter all the information, such product ID, the price, the type. I'm just going now to make sure that I map it to my actual button. And that wraps up my, my implementation. I'm now going to build a game. So this game, this version now that I'm going to build is a generic version, not the one that will end up with the stores, but the one that UDP will process to make it store specific. So that version, I'm building it. I'm going to QA it in my sandbox environment, and then once it's done, I'm going to prepare it for submission here through the UDP console. And this is where I will enter all the information that I would provide to the different app stores. So the genre, the name. I will upload the icons, here the descriptions, which I can upload in multiple languages as well. So I'm just uploading everything, promotional images, keywords, videos, etc. And here, what we're doing is uploading all the information that all the stores will need, so that you only have to do it once, and you don't have to do it for each of the stores you will submit to. So here, quick YouTube link. So after that, I will be uploading the APK that I've just built. Oh, the screenshots first, right? So my portrait screenshots, my landscape screenshots. So right, the ratings, right? And now I'm going to upload that APK. I'm going to let it upload. I will continue to show you the rest of what there is. Typically, what you're going to see is the in-app purchases, and that was synced with the editor. Specifically, this item here is the one that I just added 2 minutes ago in the editor. And I could edit it again from here if I wanted. The rest is the integration information that was also synced from the editor. The sandbox test account that was also created in the editor side. So here, my binary is uploaded. So I could add some OBB files. I just added description about what's new for this version. And here, you can see I could add multiple languages for my metadata. Here, so saving this this release, I'm going to have a quick look at the screenshots to make sure everything is in order. Here you go. So beautiful game. So my 4 portrait, 4 landscape screenshot, they're all there. Basically, I'm ready to go now. I can release. I have my APK, I have my metadata, I have my IP catalog. Quick release notes. And this is what I need to push my game to the different stores. Right. So here are the list of stores that are available. And in this example, I'm going to focus on these 3 stores. You can see that, for instance, this store here, I'm not signed up yet. So I could sign up. I would be redirected to the store sign up page and then redirected back here. For these 2 stores here, one store, Catapult, my organization was already registered. So now I only need to register the game to their console, like directly from here, from the UDP console. Now that this is done, I will choose, I can decide if I want to include or exclude certain countries in my submission. There's more things that I can do also via the advanced field. But now basically this is where I choose how far I want to bring my game to the flow. In this case, I'm choosing to repack the game and submit it to the stores. Repacking means that I will take that generic build, take out the generic implementation, and repack it with the store-specific one. Okay, so I'm said I wanted to do that. Okay, I have a warning. Said, okay, you want to submit to one store in Korea, your in-app purchases need to be in local currency. So in this video here, well, I have skipped a few minutes where I actually done that change, but I'm now just reviewing it. I used the converter to convert to Korean won. I rounded up the numbers so that they look better. In Korea, they like the rounded numbers. And right, okay, I'm good to go. My IP price is now half Korean won. I'm going to submit again. So here goes. I'm going to push it. Say yes, I'm ready to go. And this is where we set the UDP machine in motion. You can see that my revision 6 that is here is now in process. So the game is being repacked. There's a version of the game for Catapult, a version for one store that being repacked with the store specific components. Right? Okay, so the repacking has completed. I get notified there. There's a notification system that shows me the different milestones that I reached in the process. All right. And then this from here that I monitor basically how far my game has gone. So at this stage, my game is basically being sent to the stores and they will review them. So here I'm in the reporting panel. So just to be clear here, I'll fast forward in time, a few days, a few weeks, the reporting data doesn't come right away. Your game has to be live, obviously, and generate that data. This is also not actual Age of Magic numbers. This is just mock data that I've put there to show you what you can have there for all games, for all stores. Finally, in the UDP console, you have access to an overview of each of the stores so that you can understand their geography, their users, their audience. There's some very practical and actionable FAQs that you should read before you submit content to them. All that information is there, tip of your fingers. We've also linked the UDP documentation right from the portal. And yeah, that's it. That completes my demo of the Unity distribution portal. All right, so what you saw basically allows you to not have to integrate all those store-specific SDKs. You only need to implement the UDP SDK. And all that repacking to create the store-specific versions, you saw as well, you don't have to do that manually. The UDP machine does it for you. Right? And finally, from a single console, you can sign up to all these stores and register and publish your game to these stores directly from a single hub. What are the stores that we have on UDP? Currently, we have one store, which is one of the largest stores in Korea, with users that monetize extremely well. We have Catapult, which is a global app store that has a very strong presence in countries like Latin America. We have App2T, which is a publishing agent for the Chinese stores. Coming up very soon, we'll have Xiaomi, a handset manufacturer that distributes its handsets in China and as well overseas, and preloads an app store in each of the devices they ship, and more. Viveport, Jio in India is one of the largest telcos there. We'll have App2Down. We have plenty more coming. 2020, we will have over 20 stores on Android, and that will represent a reach of over 1 billion players that you probably do not reach yet. So UDP has been in public preview since GDC, March this year. And we've had already over 1,000 developers sign up and start using it. These 3 titles here are being worked on, and we will be seeing them go live for the holiday season. And what these developers have told us is that it has really helped them simplify the development for multiple app stores, because it reduces the technical complexities that are associated to distribution. They've also told us that they like the fact that the data, the analytics, are consolidated in a single place. But most importantly, what they find really valuable is to be able to connect with those stores who know those audiences really well and who can help them make the best out of their game in these new markets. Last but not least, it is free. It is entirely free for you. You will have a direct relationship with each of the stores that are on UDP, excuse me, it is free, right? Like I said, it is now in public preview. We have documentation that is available. I show you where it was. We have a page on the Unity website, unity.com/UDP. And we have our support as well that is ready to answer questions. So yeah, I hope you will find this useful, and I hope you will try it out. Now, are there any questions? No? Yes? So I'll repeat your question. You're asking if it's Android specific. Yes, it is. At this stage, Android specific.
Are there any plans to do a similar thing for desktop?
So your question is if we have any plans to do the same thing for desktop games? Yes, we're looking into this, but right now the product that is out in public preview is for Android. We are indeed evaluating how we can apply the same recipe to desktop games, yes. What about Google Play? UDP targets the third-party stores. So we do not include Google Play here. We leave you handle the Google Play builds and all the specificities that you would usually include in a Google Play submission separately. No, these channels are what we call the third-party store channels. They do not include Google Play. Well, all right. Thank you very much for coming. Have a great show.